Hi, my name is Magnus Nystedt. I'm Group Editor Consumer Technology at CPI in Dubai. I'm here at GITEX today talking to Mishaal Alireza of Alireza Holding in Saudi Arabia.
How are you, Magnus? Good to be here. Thanks for having us.
So first of all, tell us something about Alireza Holding. You're also part of I.Zone. We see that on the hat you're wearing.
The hat here. Well, Alireza Holding, basically a holding company where we develop certain brands to distribute in the Middle East. And of course, we've taken those brands and developed things like the I.Zone, which is what we consider Saudi Arabia's leading Apple premium reseller. And of course we have other companies like Tokyo Games, which is the largest video game franchise, so selling Xboxes, PlayStations and all your video game software across the country.
So start with I.Zone then. How do you try to make I.Zone different as a reseller?
Well, we try and basically make it as natural an environment to shop in as you can find in the country. We want you to walk into our stores and feel like you're in basically an Apple store anywhere in the world. From the quality of the service you get, all of our guys are Apple certified, the servicing that is, all of the brands that you would find in a normal Apple store, be it the Monster line, be it the Sound, be it some of the built bags that we carry. The idea is once you step into an I.Zone, you forget where you are, or you realize that you're not quote-unquote a lesser quality store than you would find anywhere else. So one of the things that bothered us the most was we'd always hear someone say, wow, this is a great store for the Middle East. We didn't want that aspect. We wanted it to be a great store wherever you were in the world, be it service, be it locations, after-sales service, quality of brands and products, and basically the honor of the company is set through the stores that we carry, that we represent.
Must be tough, I would imagine, to run an Apple selling store in the Middle East or anywhere in the world unless you're an actual Apple store. I mean, what people compare with is they've been to the US, they've been to Europe or whatever, they have real Apple stores, and they come back to Saudi Arabia or to Dubai or whatever, and they go into a store, they want to buy a Mac or an iPod, and it's not quite the same experience. How do you try to live up to that expectation?
Well, I guess what we try and do most is to just educate the customer. You know, a lot of times they feel that it's just plug and play, an Apple store should exist here. But in fact, APRs exist all over the world. And that's more the model that people should compare us to. Whereas you look at someone like Capcom in the UK, they do a fantastic job, but they're not necessarily an Apple store, they're an Apple premium reseller. So that's really who you should compare us to in the sense. I mean, why don't you have the Apple sign outside? Educating them that it's an Apple premium reseller versus an actual Apple store. So Apple themselves aren't opening stores, so we do the best that we can. We try to fit and be as close to the Apple stores in the US as possible, and that comes through the servicing, having your sales staff trained as much as possible, product knowledge, bringing in the parent companies or representatives from Build, Monster, from Apple themselves to come and educate our sales staff to then relay that message onto the consumers, because at the end of the day, the more the consumer knows, the better everyone is off. I do them in Arabic. So we were talking about the Apple stores and the comparison to...
expansion plans, okay. So before we move on to some of the brands that you represent and that you're launching kind of here at the show, talk to us a little bit about the expansion plans. You just opened the store recently, so what's going to happen over the next year or so with I.Zone?
Well, we have, I'll segregate it into two. The expansion plan for I.Zone and the expansion plan for our distribution company for some of the brands like Build. I.Zone, obviously, the plan is to continue opening new stores, different locations. We've gotten a lot of feedback this past quarter where we basically started a suggestion box. Something as simple as a suggestion box has given us data that I can't begin to tell you, from what products people want to see, what locations people want, what services, be it corporate business, be it corporate gifts market, be it a buyback program, financing. All of these options are some things that we're looking at, be it, again, the buyback program. As far as the when and how we're going to launch them, we're still not quite sure. Got to see how the market reacts to what it is we do, and we've got to be prepared, you know. We live in a copy-paste society here, so we've got to really be on our feet to see what we can do. But one thing's for sure, whatever we do this coming quarter and this coming year will come straight from the demands of the customers. No longer are we going to say we're going to open a store because that's how we feel we should be, and the more stores, the bigger we are. Quite the opposite now. We're going to ask the consumer what it is he wants, and from their demand and their requests, we'll move towards basically fitting the needs of the store to fit what they want. As for the brands, I mean, we're doing really pretty well. So this is the first time we showcase at GITEX with one of our main brands, Built, a company out of New York. They do laptop sleeves, laptop tops, neoprene. We obviously carry a lot of other brands like Zag. They are world famous for the InvisiShield. We have Zound Technologies, Zound Industries, and they do different headphones. And we work closely with a lot of major brands across the Middle East, like Monster and the Spec team, to see how, again, mutual benefits, mutual expansion. As long as you believe the company is heading in the right direction with the same values as you, really the sky's the limit for the region as far as we're concerned.
Okay, so let's focus a little bit on Built then. You mentioned Built as a brand. Looking at some of the products we have in front of us, they're very colorful, they're very kind of funky designs. What was it that really attracted you to bringing on board this brand? Quite
simply, really the story of the company. A lot of times we'll look at brands and we'll say, okay, that's a nice model or that's a nice SKU. But once you get to meet the people and understand the story behind the company, that's really where my personal belief on whether a company will grow with you or not begins. What's the CEO like? How quirky is he? What's their expansion plans? Why these colors? You know, why this particular material? So when there's a story that we believe we can market and we believe in, that's really what ignites us to choose a brand. But as you can see around, we have some extremely bright, colorful neoprene bags, of course, waterproof. Some of these are, you know, we move towards some of the 2010 models are reversible. So again, it's all about expression of self. I mean, at the end of the day, we live in a society now where I believe, as you can see here, we live in a society where accessorizing yourself doesn't involve the watch that you carry, the phone that you carry, the shoes you wear, but more how you accessorize your gadgets. You know, what case do you have for your iPhone? What laptop sleeve do you have for your bag? I really believe we live in a world where now fashion is technology, or technology is fashion. The headphones you carry, whether it's a Monster Beat headphone or whether it's a Bose, is a statement about who you are. I mean, obviously you look into the quality now, but we're fortunate enough to live in a world now where pretty much you'll find the best of anything if you really look for it. Now you're able to find the best brands, and what we do in our store or in the brands that we carry, and try and find the top of the line, most expensive or most luxurious, something for middle market, and of course an entry level point, so that in essence whatever target market you're looking for, you'll have the best available options for them, and then let the consumer choose what they consider. Again, colorful ideas. The Built, again, they run out of Soho, offices in Soho, and if you met any of those guys, you'd understand what I mean by the story of these characters, because they really are a great group of people.
Traditionally, products like this, which have a lot of colors, bright colors, are typically seen as being just for ladies. Is that true also for Built, or are you also going for guys here?
Absolutely not. I mean, when we look around, we have just as much availability for the men's side as there is for the female side. And we've spoken earlier about this. We at the company always try and do, I don't necessarily want to say an equal rights, but in essence, when someone comes into an I.Zone or into any of our partners that we deal with across the Middle East, we want there to be enough choice for both the executive, the young entrepreneur, kids, female and male. So even though we might have the colorful options here on the table, for example, down here we have something designed by Alexander Gerard, limited edition. I believe this is a 13-inch. So we have the executive line, the blacks and the clean whites, and you might say neutral colors to go with the colorful stuff. But at the end of the day, you fill your wall with this stuff, it really speaks for itself. I mean, the color really brings you in, and once you're in, most likely, especially in Saudi, they're most likely to leave with a black or a white case. But again, we still have a market here, and at least when someone's in our store, male or female, you're always going to feel secure that you're going to find enough product and enough choice, no matter what your segment is.
All right, so that's a little bit about the Built brand. You already mentioned some of the other brands. Anything else you want to tell us about those other brands that you carry?
No, just keep a lookout of next year we'll be here and hopefully again with you here again, hopefully representing some of our other brands like ZAG, obviously famous for the InvisiShield, worldwide selling over 10 million units. Keep a lookout for their stock because it's up 42% over the past week, so that's going very well. Of course, we have Sound Industries, a great headphone company. Again, we're partnered with the guys here at Monster and Spec, so they're always a good company to keep a lookout for, which I'm sure you'll be at their booth. Again, at the end of the day, we represent brands that we wanna showcase and we want to do well. But we're happy and content if the region is doing well. As long as we feel that the region's getting the attention that it's getting, and people like Built and Monster send people from corporate to come and see what we're about, we're really generally happy. Again, if the industry and the market succeeds, we hope to be there along with it. I mean, we're no industry leaders. We try and do what we can. We try, but it's all about people like you and the magazines that you do and the little things that we try and do to really spruce up their industry, because we really are what I consider the area to be in. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a Mac world and we're just living in it. So especially in the next couple of years.
All right, so a final question about social media. You're on Facebook, you're on Twitter. How has that affected what you do? Have you seen success coming out of that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's still very early to tell, but I mean, we have over a few thousand members on our Facebook page. We're on Twitter every single day, tweeting back and forth. So whether or not it's that big right now, again, it's something that we feel will be big. So that never hurts to start before. We're also building our first application, so we're going to have an I.Zone app launched within probably Q1 next year. Again, maybe not necessary, but why not inform the world and the local region that, you know, social media is here, it's used across the world. I mean, you'll see some of the people I follow. I mean, Steve Jobs is on there, the head Monster is on there, the Richard Branson. You'd be surprised what people are saying and what you'd learn from being on there. So we're definitely an advent of social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, whatever it may be, LinkedIn, obviously a great resource for finding local talent. That's not necessarily used that much in the region, but the more we use it, the more we hire from it. Hopefully, leading by example, we'll sort of attempt to set some sort of industry standard, or at least keep up with it, to at least change the aspect or the view on the region as much as we can.
Okay, thanks for talking to us and good luck with all the future plans.
Thanks so much, and thanks for coming by. See you soon.